All right. Well, welcome everybody to Think Outside the Coop. Here we have Isaac. Isaac, do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do?
Thanks for having me, everyone. So I'm Isaac. I'm Caleb's cousin, funny enough.
Yeah.
And I play music. I love music. I produce music on piano, trombone, bass guitar, and am casually trying to teach myself more and more guitar. And it's always a journey, and it's a fun one for sure. And it's nice to explore that creative side of your brain and the day-to-day, whether it's in a job or outside of one. So yeah,
it was great. I love it.
Today's all about creativity.
That's right.
So.
Today we will be talking about creativity.
Yeah, finding balance of creativity and responsibility.
Yeah,
that's the long name for it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
subtitle.
Yeah, finding balance. I think finding balance is difficult.
Something I think we're all struggling with in this modern age of productivity and just like go, and creation sometimes feels like it gets put on the back burner, like it's not as important as working and getting money and all of that.
Yeah.
What was your first question?
How do you manage your time? How's your time managed between like obligations, work life, and creativity, like free time?
Well, if music brought in a bunch of money, it would certainly be a higher priority and on the time management list. But no, I do what you need to, like around the house, for work, for family, and then like in the downtime, promising you still have energy, which is the biggest caveat, is like, okay, now after that 8-hour work day, you've gone to the gym, and then it's like, okay, now I'm going to sit down and try to make some music for a few hours. But listening to Deadmau5, he's an EDM producer, for those who may not somehow know who Deadmau5 is.
If you don't know who, like, where have you been?
Or once upon a time you thought Deadmau5 was Deadmau5.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise known as Deadmau5.
Yeah. I straight up still call him that.
Oh, it's a good bit.
Oh, it's funny.
I remember on one of his masterclass episodes, he mentioned that he makes his best music when he's heavily sleep deprived, and I've taken that on, and I'm like, okay, that.
Yeah, I can see that.
That makes so much sense, actually.
Right, because your critical brain is more tired, and you're like, okay, let's just see what we can make, see what we can do, play in a key, and watch the magic happen, or nothing happens.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why a lot of artists get high to create as well.
Yeah,
for the same reason.
Certainly, yeah, I could see it being a certain way to, you're not as critical, but then what you make is not as substantive. If that makes sense.
That's true. Sometimes it comes to the simplicity of it, though. Like, I think a great example is Alice in Chains. Great grunge music. It's almost like a nice heavy metal vibe, but Lane Staley was consistently high all the time. And
was he really? That doesn't seem like the group that they would be.
Oh my god, yeah. If you didn't know Alice in Chains, he was like to the T, dude.
A lot of those like heavy metal were.
But he actually made a separate group with some of Pearl Jam. The band was called Mad Season, and that was like his sobriety album, because he got clean for I think one summer, and he was with with Pearl Jam. One summer.
Wow.
He broke for summer, and they made a little band called Mad Season, and they made an album, and it was so much different than Alice in Chains. It was like just deep, raw emotions about like failure, of just like letting yourself go after all these years, and then he picked
Really
it back
raw.
up again, and then that's whole decline went on. But
Yeah, I know Owl City did a lot of his work when he was heavily sleep deprived as well. So not high, but sleep deprived as heck. He had like insomnia or something, and that's why his like music is very dreamy and which is funny because Deadmau5 kind of has that dreamy feel to it as well.
Yeah, like a trance.
Oh
yeah, that's interesting.
Definitely respect the dude.
Taste is taste.
Artistry is artistry, and sometimes you're not creating for other people either. Sometimes it's just for yourself.
No, yeah, that's the best stuff can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, just getting
And
that
if
raw
you and
emotion.
your friends like it, then that's perfect.
That's how you know it's good.
It's a bonus, but you should. For a lot of it, though, you should be focusing on yourself first. Like, if it's something that you enjoy, and if you're critical about it, then trying to fix it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem I had with creativity for a long time was I wanted to create, but then just like nothing's good enough. And so you just sit there looking at a blank page and it's like none of these ideas are good. I think part of what I realized about creativity is a lot of it is just getting past that and just putting stuff down, even if it's not good, like getting all the shitty ideas out so you can get to the one good one.
And you can go back later, the next day, you have a cup of coffee and
fix it up,
look through everything, and you're like, okay, like
fresh
these
mind.
2 out of 10 ideas were great, and the rest, the rest we can forget about.
How do you overcome that? Like, most of my ideas are kind of shit. Like, what does that process look like for you?
I think since producing, 4 years ago now, when I got like my first MIDI controller and was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to do this. I had so many just like what I thought were cool starts to ideas, and I was just like, save. You have one session and then you like never go back to it.
Yeah.
I think just approaching it with a different lens and perspective, or just going back and be like, what is salvageable here? Or if you get a second opinion, whether it's from like your partner or a friend, and they're like, oh, like I could see like real potential here, which I always try to do with buddies, like, because I have a handful of friends who make music, and I see their ideas. I'm like, oh, we could like definitely add a couple more things in here. Like, let's schedule something. Let's get a session down. It's like we're all our own worst critic, for sure.
For sure.
And it's moving past that and not just meticulously doing hours of sound design right out the gate. Just like you were saying, Linksy, putting down the ideas and seeing what sticks, or trying again and doing a later version, doing another revision, and being like, oh, okay, this is nicer. This is getting somewhere.
Yeah, I like that. So pushing through by like taking the good out of the bad and ugly and fixing it up. I love that.
And sharing with others too.
Sharing with others. That's got to be a huge part of it too. Having other people to push you and kind of brainstorm with you.
Yeah, just share your experience, because then it'll encourage other people to share theirs. I actually got to learn that I inspired a friend of mine to work on an album himself and actually get something released, because he's been producing for a number of years, and because last year in June I had dropped an album. We can talk about that more later, but when I told him about that, and he actually did the album artwork for it, and when I told him about that, I learned later that he wanted to
to that's awesome,
actually produce and get a full-blown album out for himself.
That's huge. That probably feels great too, to like inspire another artist. That's really what we're out here trying to do, right? Is like inspire people.
Yeah, inspire your friends, your family. And
I know we kind of talked a little bit about like difficulty finding creativity after you've had a full work day and stuff like that. But I kind of want to find more specifics. Like, is there anything that you do to like get yourself there to kind of like decompress after a full day of work? Because sometimes for me, I've worked 12-hour shifts and very physically demanding. I get home, and then the obligations of taking care of like animals and cats and dishes, and I got laundry to do. It's 8:30 p.m. and I just have no spirit to do anything,
Yeah, how do you overcome that?
Yeah.
What's your process there?
I think the best thing is to do either like a meditative task, or go for a walk, something that like you can let your brain rest and zone out for a bit.
Yeah.
Because I find if you allow yourself some space to zone out, or just to like pump the brakes, because you've done all that stuff and you're like, what am I going to write a song about chickens right now? Or, make a chicken documentary. You're like, no, I want to stop thinking about chickens for the day. But,
you work with chickens?
Don't you guys? I'm making that.
We have chickens.
You guys
we have chickens.
I know.
I thought you were talking about yourself. I was like, man, are you working on a farm?
Chickens too?
if you count a French bulldog as a chicken, which is more of a gremlin, but
Is a chicken.
same diff. No, yeah, or just like going for a run or working out, like still intensive. And then there's the obvious, you can partake in certain things, and that it's the quick route, but it is the shallow route versus the other ideas.
Yeah.
And then I think something else I do, and I learned this from the late great departed David Lynch, was just like write all famous director. For those who may not know, I sound so pretentious right now, but I don't care.
No, we'll put a little clip in here.
Yeah, we'll get him in here.
Reference here. Yeah.
Every film, I think, is, as I said, going into a new world, going into the unknown.
I had watched a video, and he was saying, you can clearly see my influences, but essentially just write ideas down as they come to you in the moment, whether that's on your phone or better yet, like physically writing them down. I listened to a song today and I want to explore trying to replicate, that kind of synth sound, or that drum beat was cool. Let's try to lay that down later and like see where that takes off, see where that goes. And then when you're tired and you're like, I can't think of anything, then you can resort to your little notebook or look at that notes app in your phone and be like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's dive in. Let's take into some of these, and just casual little goal setting or like idea spurting throughout the day. So when you're tired and can't think of things, you have something to go back to.
Like a wellspring of just like like just a starting point. I think a lot of times too, you're thinking of all these great ideas when you're out and about and you're like being hounded by media, and then you get home and you're ready to actually produce something rather than consume, and it's just like like nothing. So I totally get that. I like that too. I write down a lot of stuff too. With me, I have trouble with the actual follow through, and I think that's part of the ADHD, but just like following through with the ideas that I have and making time to create, I don't do that enough.
Sure. I hear that. Then I mean, you can always come back to those ideas at any time. They're not going to expire, right?
Right. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. It just have so many. It's like overwhelming.
Like, all right, close your eyes and put your finger down on the page somewhere.
Choose one.
As far as decompressing, you ever feel like that can lead into an escape of reality? You feel like you go so far that like this is all that you focus on or want to think about, like you forget about everything else and escape it.
That's some of the best. Like, the house around you can be burning down, but you've been like, I've been producing or I've been writing for 4 hours.
It's the starving artist. Yeah, where the whole city's on fire and you're like, I made a new piece of work. Look here. Yeah, I'm a starving artist. But to that degree, like, yes, it's beautiful. But like,
into that flow.
Is it too dangerous to where it's like, have you let time pass by? Have you let life go by and you're like, fuck, I was too focused on thinking about working about this instead?
If your friends and family are checking on you and you haven't responded in days because you've been on a roll of doing whatever outlet creatively that you're doing, I think that's A, text them back, but B, B, like we said at the top, a level of balance and okay, everything's been taken care of. I know I have 4 to 5 hours. Those are the best days when it's like a Saturday and you're like, well, I have nothing else going on. I could be sad about it, or I could be like, okay, I have an opportunity here.
Yeah.
I think so long as you're not neglecting yourself and others that may depend on you and look to you for resources and guidance, do what you will. I think it's far better than, you've binge watched a show all afternoon. Like,
so true.
In the moment, you can be like, yeah, it was cool. And then you like step outside and you're like, well, what did I accomplish here?
Yeah.
Aside by getting engrossed in a cool story, or even if it's trash TV, then that's a level lower in my.
Or like video games.
Yeah.
Spending all day video gaming, and it's like, man, I did not accomplish a single thing today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like that depression when you finish a game and it's like, oh, that was so great, it's over, and I just wasted so many hours of my life. But like you said, like with creativity, I mean, you are like spending that time. You may be escaping reality, but there's so much like that you get out of it. Like you've created something now that you get to put into the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Even if you don't, you can still be like, well, I've trained on this expertise outlet that I want to continue to get better at.
Yeah.
Or I had all these ideas written down and then I did the follow through. And then that like the reward and I don't know, gratitude that you experience, or if you do it with people even too, that's the coolest. That's that's one of the highest feelings is creating something like with others too and enjoying what it is. And wow, I drew a hard blank there.
That's okay. That's okay.
Beep.
You can keep in that dead sound if you want, but it's fine.
We'll keep it there.
There's like so much worse escapes that you could be doing. Like
absolutely,
creative escape can benefit you, like whether you wrote towards a book or writing or even journaling for a while. You know, it's something cathartic, and it's something that like, you know, you're indenting your brain somehow. You're not just letting it, you know, cook.
Yeah, and I find too that like being in creative spaces helps me in other parts of my life too. Have you noticed that at all?
Oh yeah, like what we were talking about, you come from the workday and you've used, if the right side of your brain is the quote unquote creative side or the left side is, but
it's not either or. You use both for all things technically. One's like more like analytic, one's more like writing and language. But you need all of that for creation.
It feels like you're using certain parts of your brain throughout the day, whether you're analyzing data, programming, what have you, doing physical labor, and then you come home and you do whatever your creative outlet is, and it feels like you're using a completely like fresh part of your brain that hasn't been used throughout the day.
Yeah,
maybe.
So true.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And
balances things out. Balance.
Yeah.
Here we are back at balance.
Has the success or the failure of your creativity affected the rest of your life? Before?
Oh man. I feel like the successes both can either create so much impact in the moment, or even when you've like done a really cool thing, or you know, you've released a song or an album and then you're like, I thought I would feel more, and people are really excited for me, and I'm like, like the illusion of success, and you're like, well, I did one thing, like not like on to the next, but managing your expectations of both I think is really important here. Because I'm a failure, and you're like, well, I had a bad day or a rough week, and then I tried to make something and it came out funky, and you're like, is that a bad thing or is that a good thing? Or if you feel you're stuck in a rut of your ability, then maybe changing something up, you know, or getting together with a friend, sharing something, getting feedback, input can help there. I can't think about what a failure would be. I think so long as it's not like published and you're like, ooh, I don't like how that sounds, versus, okay, that sounds good enough, we can put it out. And that's been an eternal debacle, especially.
Oh man, between the good enough and like great line for me is the hardest. Like I've spent hours trying to make something look good, and it's like, yeah, it's good enough, but then like I'll just dash at it again because it's like I want it to be great.
I think perfectionism is like the antithesis of creativity, because if the only way you're going to be happy with it is if it becomes perfect. Like nothing is ever perfect. You can't create something perfect because there's going to be someone out there that doesn't like it, you know? And perfection has this illusion of everyone's going to love it, and sometimes you can actually perfect things out of having like any impact at all, you know? For me anyways, this is what I've been trying to like allow myself to like get out of my perfectionism and just like allow it to be, like just let it be the experience of learning to do something or putting yourself out there on paper or in a song or on a painting or whatever, and just let it be, let it be what it is, and be happy with whatever impact it can make, even if it's just on yourself.
Thanks, John Lennon. Appreciate your minute.
John Lennon. I need my glasses.
You're right.
We don't get them.
Your glasses and the hat.
Yeah.
We don't want the glasses.
No,
we have John
don't
Lennon glasses.
I believe it. That
only in this household.
Yeah. Whatever you think is perfect too. You're like, wow, that album that so and so made is brilliant. It's perfection. I'm like, I doubt that the artist that made that thought that whatsoever. Or even the freaking Mona Lisa. You're like, I'm sure saw some discrepancies and had issues, and it's
because it made you feel.
Yeah, it made that artist feel, and whatever you make makes you feel a certain way, and it'll touch people and get to people that are like-minded or have similar tastes, and other people would be like, not for me, or like, wow, this is trash.
Yeah. Or other times,
never do anything ever again.
An artist makes something and it's like, this is trash, but then other people are like, oh, this is wonderful.
It means something. Yeah. You see like some of the art that gets put out, and it's just like a banana, and you're like, what the heck? But it's like, that's the whole point, right?
Art.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about your album. Let's take some time to talk about that. What was that process like for you?
Yeah.
Start to finish, what did that look like?
Start to finish, it was like peak 2021. It was getting close to Christmas, and I was like, I was stuck in my, 1-bedroom apartment, and I was like, I need an outlet in here that I can do inside. And I was like, I love music. I have my trombone. I have, an ability to play something, but I was like, I want to dive in, like play with some sounds. So I got myself a MIDI controller, and it's, you plug it in your computer, and it came with like the light version of Ableton Live, which is a digital audio workstation, otherwise known as the DAW. I just want to educate the people, you know?
Yeah. We're here to teach. Educate.
And started playing around with sounds, and from there I, like we were saying before, of you have one session, you save it, you're like, oh, I'll come back to this. You don't for a year and some. And the first thing I latched onto, I just like kept revising. I was like, oh, it's done. And I would send it to my friends and be like, wait, no, it's not. It's done. Like I'll send it out again, a little bit more revised. And it was kind of that process, and learning over the internet, how to get a little better at it and understand my equipment a bit more versus like the surface level. And just kept at it and kept gravitating towards a collection of tracks. And out of that came what are the 8 songs on the album, done to the best of my ability and knowledge within a 3-year window of off and on producing, and sometimes I wouldn't work on it for, months at a time, or I'd come back and be like, it'll say like last edited 7 months ago. And it's just like, oh my God, time isn't real.
Yeah, especially as an adult.
Yeah. You're like, oh wow. But then, I had some epiphanies on some of those that I hadn't worked on in a while, and super overhauled what was there. And I was like, wow,
that's
awesome. I kept getting the sensation of like, I've only gotten better since, like I touched this last. And
could you say as well, like you were a different person than the last time you touched it too?
Oh yeah.
It's a whole new person looking at it.
Yeah.
And for some of those, it was like, oh, I remember where I was at in life when I wrote this, like looking up at the stars and being like, oh, just kind of eventually, like I would run it by some friends who are, they did production, they've done it longer than me, and get their input, get their feedback. And then I eventually had like the 8 tracks, and it was like, okay, like this has all felt like an exploration, and it has felt like an inconsistent exploration.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I wanted to. It all felt mostly like kind of cosmic, ambient, electronic, a little bit of rock. So I was like, what do I want to call this? What does it feel like it is? And I was like, rock electronica, along the lines of,
Nice.
a much more amateur Daft Punk or Justice or those type of artists. And it even involved resurrecting a song from the high school band I was in that I had written.
Oh my
wow,
God.
it was a full
back in,
redemption
like,
song in there.
2011. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like the one I had written for the band. Like, we had never published it, so I was like, all right, it's fair game.
Yeah, for
Heck
sure.
yeah.
That
So this
And-
album is like literally the start of your journey of making music until now.
Yeah, 4 years, like touching up and mastering, and from the inception point of it all. And then I was, I've been meticulously like trying to figure out how to order the damn thing. And I was like, well, I at least want it to be 30 minutes long. And I like did a jam session with a friend, and I was like, ooh, I like what we made today. Like, let's have that be kind of the last kind of weird track. You know how I was inspired because you have so many artists I can think of. Tool, for example, that the last track on an album, won't be really sonically popular, or it'll just be strange, like atmospheric almost. And I wanted to make a creepy sort of atmospheric intro to that. And
Nice.
and then go into like the live like bass and drum recording my buddy and I did with some weird vocals.
Oh gosh.
And,
weird vocals.
Yeah, we were just playing around with like screams and
more than
groans.
weird too. You ended up playing it backwards at one point.
Yeah,
didn't you?
I remember when you.
Yeah, that was another motif that I like had pulled from the show Twin Peaks, because in those, like, the actors in some surreal moments would, I think what they did and what I tried to replicate was they would talk in reverse.
Do you know who I am?
So what I did is I wrote down like the warning message into space, which was kind of the last track, to kind of pull the album into a concept.
Yeah.
And I had like written out in reverse all like the lines, and then like you're into my microphone, and took it, flipped the audio.
Wow, so you set it backwards to reverse it to make it sound
Yeah.
To make it sound forward, to make it sound uncanny and strange and otherworldly. And I'm like,
so cool.
The mix, I'm like, it does it justice enough. I know what it's saying, and if I ever were to do a physical release, like, I would put this warning message in there like backwards, so if you could hold it up to a mirror, then you could see what it's saying, to kind of like physically put it somewhere. And when I was like, I am not good at promoting myself or marketing, so I tried to make an Instagram for this artistry and album like a few months, like, geez, like, what am I kidding? Like a month and a half before it came out. I was telling all my friends like, hey, you should follow me here. Like, and then on posts and such, I would include a snippet of this message. So I was like, oh, I'll keep stringing it out. And I had fun with that, even if it didn't go anywhere, which is fine. It was still a good time.
The fact that you had fun doing it is the most important anyways.
Exactly. That's what I came out of this with. And, on my birthday last year, June 27th, I released the album Inconsistent Physics, and I had spelled it with numbers in places of the vowels, which I realize now has made it impossible to search.
Yes.
Yeah, I made myself really obscure. But that's why
the hidden gem.
Right. Exactly. Thank you.
We'll put it up right here, and we'll put a link in the description of this video as well, so people can find you. Okay.
So
is it like on Apple Music and
Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube Music. I'm still working on SoundCloud. That is one place I need to put it up on. But
Life does do
Yeah,
that.
the title Inconsistent Physics, I kind of, because I'm a math and science nerd, it's in my trade, it's in my DNA at this point. I was like, I want something spacey, and I want to, knowing my inconsistency throughout the production process of this piece, like I knew it was inconsistent. I knew what I was doing was inconsistent, and in my head, I'm like, okay, if you look at the album artwork, it is this spacecraft, he's flying, or it's flying towards like the center, which is this like white burst of light, and on the other side is all this, just, it looks like what would be in a lava lamp, but in my mind it's like, okay, this is the inconsistent physics of the universe coming through like the opposite side of a black hole, a white hole.
Yeah.
If any of this is listenable, I applaud you. But and just all of physics becoming inconsistent and chaotic and not as we know. Just
cool. It really feels like the Murphy's Law, where it's like if anything could happen, it does, or if anything could exist, it does exist, kind of thing.
And kind of the mythos of the record is on that spaceman's planet. The last track I was talking about, the warning message, is called Revivinal, reverse vinyl is kind of what I went with.
Cool.
And he plays this like he plays this forbidden ancient, record, vinyl on their whatever alien vinyl player it would be. I was having a good time making this up, and it plays the message out, but then it plays it out to the universe, and at that point, who are they? I don't know. It's this like other higher civilization force that comes and like
oh gosh,
to eradicate the planet and suck it all into a black hole, and he has to flee, and he's the only one of his planet to flee, and the rest gets like pulled into there's another track called Entropic Maelstrom. Like a maelstrom, a chaotic storm of pure entropy is basically what happens and what he goes through and what happens to his planet. And throughout all that is each track I kind of had a headcanon for which step of the process this was, and he makes it out on a gravity ripple because that's the second to last one, and is able to shoot back to the regular physical universe from this chaos that he's endured.
Oh man, that's crazy.
It'd be so cool to make a music video at some point.
That would be so cool.
Even some visualizer videos. That's kind of a long-term plan that I would love to implement. With whatever video software I can get my hands on. And
that's the hard part. Or working with somebody that that is like good at doing that, too.
Dang. Yeah. But
we could get out there in our little spaceship and do a green screen thing.
We'll get those onesies, like all have like green suit onesies.
Oh no!
You're behind a green screen and
blasphemous. No.
I mean, if anything, it would be cool. It would be different.
That would be fun. Would be fun.
So long as I direct it.
Yes. Kidding. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You are the artist. Artiste.
Well, even Jon Favreau gets in his own work. You can still be in it too and direct it.
I want to be the spaceman.
You are the spaceman.
I felt like the spaceman in this journey.
Yeah, of course you are.
Thanks for letting me splurge about that and what the album is. And
dude, it's
I
awesome.
love that. No, I love that, and I think our viewers will too. It's just your brainchild, and you can see so much of you coming out of that. It's awesome.
And I've definitely had a lot of influences and listened to a lot of progressive rock and metal albums that are concept albums, and I was really, I'm like, it went from like, oh, this is an exploration of tracks, to me thinking of more and more of this headcanon and like, oh, I can make this a concept album even if it's not explicitly told like that.
Yeah.
It can, because
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, do literally.
That's the beauty of it. And intimidation about it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part.
Like, what are your guys's? I have a question for you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
What are y'all's influences in your creative ventures? Like, what comes to mind of not what you want to try and replicate, but you're like, hey, I've seen so and so do this thing. Like, what can we surmise from that, or let's try to make a insert artist name here type of work, and in our own image.
For me, like music is kind of an amalgamation of everything I've ever listened to ever. Like my brain, I think of my brain as an algorithm where it's just like everything that comes into it becomes its own thing and then spits out in a way that seems more genuine and authentic to myself. But I like when it comes to music specifically, I really love Adele. Like Adele is just I feel like we have similar sounds of our voice. I like similar, I don't know, like inspiration as what we like to make music about. And then I've really been getting into painting and I'm really inspired by Bob Ross. So that's my inspiration for most things when I'm painting is Bob Ross. But I've gotten into a lot of like abstract. I love Van Gogh. I love like abstract impressionism. It's definitely more my vibes.
Having pottery this fall at school has been like a really fun outlet for me. I didn't think I was really going to get into pottery, but I'm very hands-on. Like I enjoy the feeling of that. So there's been a couple of like YouTube channels that I watch. In particular, there's this chick called Pottery to the People.
Yeah.
She's
awesome.
pretty sick. But she like in addition to like making random bits to try to get viewers like, oh, I made a fucking this over here or whatever. Like she also does like random stuff where she's like, oh, I want to see if I can make like 50 plates that are exactly the same. Or she's like, I want to make a bowl and like a cup set, a mug that looks like it's made out of cardboard, but it's clay. But just like
she
the design of it.
She replicates a lot of other artists' work just to show the process of what it would look like.
Yeah, so her taking inspiration from other people, then watching her kind of spin her own thing on it kind of gives me light to be like, I can spin my own light on it.
Yeah, it doesn't
as well.
have to look exactly like this other person. You can take inspiration from whatever you see and turn it into something that your hands can make. And I think that's something that used to frustrate me a lot about creativity was like I would look at something and be like, I want to make that exact thing, and I just never will. It's not my style. I don't have the expertise to do like hyper realistic, but just being okay with what I can create and what comes out and being like, yeah, this is good enough.
Radiohead.
I thought that was your.
I've been.
No, I wasn't done yet. You just like took off and ran with it. Radiohead for sure, and Muse.
Ooh,
wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've been on a Radiohead kick, like finally working my way through their discography because for the longest time I'm a music snub. I know that about myself.
Same. I'm proud to admit music sluts to the end.
I'm all about it. I just want more and more, and they feel like a vein I haven't tapped just because back in the day I was like, oh, Creep's such a dumb song, like blah, 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 it's like 4 chords, and I was like all pretentious about songs with 4 chords, and I'm like, but then I listened to so much Green Day for so long, I'm like, it's so
3 chords.
It's
3 chords.
Good.
Not even 4. It's 3.
And they do great. And it's incredible.
But it's the fact that Billy Joe like literally mashes his fingernails into his fucking guitar guard.
Well, and then you have Mike
so
Dirnt. It's so good.
Catchy bass licks, man. I think definitely for bass it was Mike Dirnt of Green Day. That was like my initial inspiration to be like, I want to play a rock instrument. I play piano, I play trombone, but I'm like, those don't feel rocky. This is high school. I mean, this is 10 plus years ago now. But I was like, oh, like the way like his bass sounds, he's like playing melodies on it. That's really cool. Like the deep tones and like the root of the band is really exciting. And I was like, I want to do that. So that inspired me to get his his signature P bass with like the white body and black star on it that you'll see in mid 2000s era Green Day.
Oh yeah.
And since then I perpetually can't, when I try to write things, I'm like, it ends up being very progressive whether I want to or not. And I just can't shake that because I think later in high school my friend had shown me Dream Theater, which they're just one of the craziest progressive metal and rock bands. Especially for this album, it was like there's a lot of inspiration from like Deadmau5 and Justice and Daft Punk, and I'm like, these dudes that were writing electronic music that sure can be dancey, but when it's electronic music for rock fans is what I had heard coined on Justice, and anyone who doesn't know them, go listen to their first Cross album. It's like really good drums and like good distorted electronic bass. Those dudes made that album. It was their first in 2007. They made it on GarageBand and another program that I'm blanking on, but I'm like, it sounds far and away better than anything else I've heard anyone produce on GarageBand.
On GarageBand.
When I learned that, I was
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah. It's like using Microsoft Paint for making a Mona Lisa.
Yeah, right? Like they took something out of such an introductory program, and
a good artist can make anything with any tool.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Boston. Like they were plugging in their music into computer program algorithms in like 1978.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
incredible.
Those guys pioneered guitar amps, and
they did.
Their version of distortion was such. It was a revolutionary. It was revolutionary, but it was an emerging technology that they just made their own and
tapped into. Same with Alan Parsons' project, which is definitely a Pink Floyd baby, for sure. But yeah, they are the pioneers of it too. But how far it's come, and then to reach new boundaries. Like it almost kind of feels like you, in a way, were taking your inspiration from like this electronic, Daft Punk, almost disco electronic inspiration, but then also keeping to like your heavy metal rock and roll roots, and you were trying to like pioneer like the gap between different things like that and going in new directions, which is admirable, to say the least, man. Yeah, I think it's awesome to kind of like find a new outlet and be like, I'm gonna do it, even if it's something that not many people have tried,
Yeah, and I know there's so much spacey stuff out there, but I was like, my love for space and everything was also certainly an influence, because it's a fun escape to think about, and watch Neil deGrasse Tyson videos and have him explain quantum physics, and be like, I know what he's talking about, and then you try to explain it to anyone else, and you're like,
I don't know.
That.
It's because it's really hard to explain something that you have like no actual tangible experience with,
Yeah, but it feels like we almost know too. Like it's a familiar feeling.
Yeah, well, of course, because we're all experiencing it on a subconscious level.
We're all here.
I'm upset because I had an idea, and now I see it on YouTube, and I'm like, darn it! I thought of this first.
Well, it's very religious based too, because we all are like of the same.
Spiritual doesn't have to be religious, but yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're too late to the game. In fact, you could take your psychology and run with it and make it even better.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have my other thing. At some point, I'll be at a place where I'll feel confident enough in, what I'm doing to come up with my own theories and ideas. But I just got my bachelor's degree. Like I need a lot more experience to feel like I'm any sort of professional at this.
All about the journey, not the destination, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When your goal is experience, all you can do is win.
I like that.
Like my mantra right now.
Nice. I like that. Like, do you have affirmations? Do you have mantras that you tell yourself to kind of like get you going through the day, or if you feel down? Like, is there anything that pulls you out of that?
Yes. Like creativity stuff aside, I am someone who's religious. I am Christian, practice my faith regularly and have faith, and that keeps me going. But like a mantra that I think it's hilarious. I took from Star Wars Rogue One, where he's like, I'm one with the Force is with me.
Oh, I love that.
When the Jedi is like, he's walking out and all the lasers are shooting all around him, and in my mind I was like, okay, God is my peace is in God. God is my peace is with God. I'll like say that like over and over, like whether it's out loud or in my head, and it kind of, it's like, okay, like I can do all things through him, and it is such a reassurance, and like it roots me back in my faith of like, okay, we're not meant to know everything. We're not meant to have all the answers or even know the answers about all this in the faith. But that is one that, oh God, I need to finish burping. Excuse me. burping in the middle of religious speak. It's I can't be a pastor.
Oh no.
No. No, that's one that comes to mind for sure.
Yeah, I like that. That was beautiful. Absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
What about you guys though?
Oh, I have
Or
like.
you want to say that for your mantra?
Oh
episode?
man,
I have too many.
I have so many for like everything
Things change.
because yeah.
I think it's a big one of mine too. Is like just the acceptance that things always do change and there is no such thing that's consistent in life except for change has made me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I mean, between my upbringing, my like family dynamics, my career, my relationships, my life as a whole, has the one consistent thing I've ever had was change.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the only thing that brings comfort, is knowing that there is bound to be new change.
Yeah.
So
mine, the one that like has stuck with me is what's meant to be will be, and it's just that kind of what you were saying, that reminder, like I don't need to know everything. Whatever is meant to happen was meant to be, and I know that I will overcome it.
yeah.
I like these.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when every day that I wake up, when I wake up every morning, I decide that it's gonna be a great day because I want it to be.
Yeah,
I do.
you get to choose that for
Yeah,
yourself.
I do.
It is a
Maintain
choice.
that outlook and perspective throughout the day.
Yeah.
I and just going out and knowing you can do things like for yourself, for your people, and whatever it is, no matter how small, things can happen from it. Which I want to segue into a very recent development that is just such a wild happenstance and serendipitous moment for myself recently. It was New Year's Eve, and I was at home, getting ready. My wife and I were going to go to a friend's cocktail party. She was on her way home from work, and I had been meaning to for so long because I haven't been as consistent on playing my trombone as I should have been since basically college. Been very off and on, but that's what I played through elementary school and on. But I just decided, I'm like, screw it, man. I'm gonna go outside in my backyard, bring my dog with me, and I'm gonna serenade the neighborhood to Auld Lang Syne. I'm gonna find it, so it's gonna be rocky for a minute, and then B, I'm just gonna play it loud and proud.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I found it. It was fun to play, and I played like taps and a couple other things, a song from the Blues Brothers that I remember from high school, just out to the neighborhood. And my house is along like an alley in like suburban Colorado, and like how I was playing was positioned up.
Oh yeah, everyone heard you for miles.
I saw, which
let it rip, dude.
I see this exactly. I should have done this way sooner. My wife is like trying to get me to go out and just toot my horn, and I was like, shoot, I'm so glad I did.
Toot your horn.
Because I see a dude walk out of his house, and like along this alley, I see him under the streetlight, just like he walks out, and then I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And I keep playing, and then I like lose track of him, and then like a few minutes later, he shows up on the other side of the fence in the alley, and is like, hey man, like, and I know, and like my dog like jumps and is like, being all protective, God bless him, and
little guy.
Oh yeah, and he's like, hey, like, you play? And I was like, I'm looking for an excuse to play more. And he's like, do you? And he's like, yeah, I play saxophone. Like,
oh no way.
I'm actually in a band, and we've been looking for a trombone player. And I was I heard this playing out, and I thought like, oh, it's a trombone or a baritone or something. I was like, well, bingo, man. Like, and
what? That's
like, hey,
awesome.
Like, we should exchange numbers because he's in a band. They want to get more horns, and I got his info, and we've been texting. And last night, actually, I was invited to the first band practice at the drummer's house, which is also like very local, just down the way, and gave me a bunch of charts. They like do classic rock covers and
cool,
mainly, and like some jazz and soul stuff. It's like an 8-person group with me, and it's practically a big band at this point. And less to say, it was a success because they want to continue to have me on board and keep practicing with him. So
wow.
I've been wanting to be a part of like an actual band, and there's nothing better than playing music with people live. It's one of the best things like that I can think of.
Oh man, that's such a cool story. The fact that like you were a blessing to him, he was a blessing to you. They needed a trombonist, and you needed a reason to play trombone. That's beautiful.
And they all seem like really cool people, like all around our age too. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a God moment. I'm so thankful and grateful, and I'm like,
it just really makes you smile.
I am a work cut out for me now. He gave me like 10 tracks to in the music for it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like,
but you're gonna be busy. You're gonna be learning that trombone again.
Oh yeah. And I was so nervous my chops weren't gonna hold through the hour and a half of practice, but I did good. Trimmed up the mustache, because there's nothing worse than mustache hairs in a mouthpiece.
Oh my god,
it's an uncomfortable feeling. But yeah, that's the very recent development and something really cool musically and creatively. And they're like, do you want to produce and transpose like horn parts? Like, we're trying to work on some originals too. And I was like,
cool.
Say less, man. Let's make it happen.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you and them. Thanks. Like, what a blessing for both of you. Is there anything else you would like to share with the viewers? Some parting words?
Yeah.
Oh man, no matter how down or bad you're feeling, like, never stop making, even if you don't like everything you do. Like, the process of making and creating will only strengthen that. And if you don't think you're creative, you just haven't found your medium yet. I think anyone can be. It's just keep looking and finding. It doesn't have to be painting or music. It can be whatever. You can write screenplays, like anything. Anything can be creative if you want to make something, and don't be afraid to put that out in the world.
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for spending this time with us. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, guys. It's been a pleasure. This is so much fun.
It was awesome seeing you too.